Hi, good morning. This is a lesson day one for February 1st or February 2nd. We're talking about leadership this week. And the other thing we are doing is working on our virtual service project. There's actually an assignment that you can turn in your assignment of what you did for your project and then a picture of what you did. So go to that virtual assignment and you can do that. We're also working on our personal projects, which I'll talk about at the end of this lecture. But I want to talk to you about leadership and conflict. And I've given you different pictures of conflict or of different leadership qualities and characteristics. So let me share you with a picture today. It's called the velvet brick. There's a brick and there's velvet, and they're different from each other. If you throw velvet at somebody, like a little piece like that, it won't hurt. If you throw a brick, it'll hurt a lot. And so sometimes with conflict, we can be very forceful and we can hurt other people, where sometimes we need to be a little bit more casual and respectful and have empathy. So I want to talk about conflict and conflict resolution in light of this picture. So if you think about it, you can think about being a leader, that good leaders possess both strength and sensitivity. They are tough and tender. They are soft on the outside, relational, but firm as a brick on the inside, principle-centered. Because they're emotionally secure, they're able to handle confrontation and conflict in a healthy way. And as a leader, you need to be able to handle conflict, just like in your family, you need to be able to handle conflict. And most people don't do conflict well. They say in relationships, the two most important things are communication and conflict resolution, because you need to know how to talk to one another and you need to know how to resolve conflict that you will have. And most of us run away from conflict. It scares us. We don't want to do something that would hurt somebody else, or we don't want to be hurt at the same time. So think about this idea with a brick. Can think of qualities like tough, doing right, confronts destructive problems, demonstrates strength and courage. A stickler for results is virile, extremely professional, secure enough to take criticism, possesses convictions about principles, and always embraces the responsibility. Those are all good qualities to have in conflict. You should stand for what is true, what you know to be true. You should do the right thing. You should be a stickler for results. You should be secure enough to take criticism. But on the other hand, with the velvet analogy, you should be tender, being real, considers diverse perspectives, demonstrates sensitivity and care, a stickler for relationships, is vulnerable, extremely personal, secure enough to serve the critic, possesses compassion for people, and rarely enforces the rank of the position. Those are all good qualities to have. Secure enough in yourself to serve the person that you're in conflict with. Possess compassion for people. So there's this idea in conflict, you really need to be both. And let me talk about confrontation 101 a little bit. This is something for you to think about. I'm leaving the PowerPoint in the assignment so you can think about it maybe next week if you have a conflict. They say here are the most important things. Number one, wait until your initial anger subsides. Postpone any confrontation until you can be objective. That's something that's very important, because sometimes we get so angry, we say the wrong things. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Then initiate the contact. Don't blame them and wait for them to make things right. You go and initiate the contact. Affirm them as you begin. Thank them for the opportunity to meet and talk about these things. Tell them you're struggling with this problem. Own it. It's your problem, not just theirs. So own what you can own. I always tell people when you're in conflict, talk about what your problem is. Outline the problem, admit you don't understand, clarify, give the people the benefit of the doubt that they are angry for a reason, and try to understand why. Next thing is share the principle that it's at stake. Compromise on opinions, but don't violate your principles. If you really believe in something, it's important to take that and tell them what is important to you. Encourage them to respond, listen well, ask them for their opinion, take notes, understand their perspective, establish forgiveness and repentance if necessary, create a game plan for change, and then finally affirm your love and respect for them. Now, when we talk about conflict here, I'm really talking about people that you're close to. whether it's your family, your friends, or it's people, a teacher maybe. Maybe it's someone that you're leading, someone you're working with as a group. So think about these things when you have conflict, and also know that as a leader, you will have conflict. And when you do, think about this: I'm going to stand for what's right and be a brick.
This is the high school 5-minute warning bell. Please head to class. Remember to stay 6 feet apart and keep your mask on.
All right, my teacher, Mrs. Nardi, just came in, so she gets to listen to me give this lecture again. So to finish, we talked about what kind of person are you? Okay, are you a shark? I really like to get my own way. I win and you may lose, but it's better this way. Are you more a fox? We have to compromise. Everyone wins a little and loses a little. Are you a turtle? I don't like conflict. I tend to withdraw and not face it. Are you a teddy bear? I make peace however I can. I don't mind losing so you can win. Or are you an owl? Let's work at this and find a way in which everyone can win. Your assignment today was to do a journal asking yourself, how do you handle conflict? Like, tell me how you handle conflict. And number 2 is, which animal do you think you are or you identify with? And give me an example of how you live that way. So that is our theme for today, is how do I deal with conflict and how do I struggle with conflict in my own life? The other 2 things that we're working on today, number 1, I said, is your virtual service project. You should be finishing that up and then put the evidence that you did it in the assignment. That's due on Friday. And then the second thing is your personal service project. I'm going to give you time in class every day, this week and next, for you to work on your personal service project. Who are you? And you can go ahead and look at that assignment. What do you plan on doing? What's your issue that you'd like to solve? It's important that you put that in there, because that's what you'll do research on when we come back after the break. And then tell me what agency you'd like to work with. It could be a church, a nonprofit. And then tell me what your plan is. What is your hope? I'm going to review all those so I can approve them. And if you have any questions, you can email me this week and you can talk to me. That's what we did the rest of the time in class, is work on finishing your journal and doing your journal, doing your virtual service project, and then working on your own personal project and beginning to put some details behind that. All right, have a great day. Henry, good to see you. And if you watch this video, if you have any questions, please let me know.